Hey, welcome. So we're continuing the 7.1 thing. We are still looking at the inverses, but we're more so looking at inverses as a way to undo our regular functions. We're just kind of applying the idea of algebra and algebraic inverses. So if you think about if we're trying to undo addition, we undo it algebraically with subtraction. Same with multiplication and division. Then we kind of got a little bit fancier in the end of Algebra 1 and the beginning of Algebra 2, where we said that the inverse of a square would be the square root. Same thing with like the sine inverse and the sine function. These undo each other algebraically. So we're just going to apply that idea of inverses to solve problems. So for number 1, it's asking us to find the inverse of y equals 2 sine x minus 1. So if we follow our steps algebraically that we did to find inverses in algebra, the first step is always the same. We're going to switch the x and y. So our new function is going to look like x equals 2 sine y minus 1. Okay, and then we're going to use our algebra. So notice up here I have this little chart here. It has the order of operations, PEMDAS, parentheses, exponent, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. It's always good to note that multiplications, divisions, and additions and subtractions are on the same level technically, so we just apply them left to right. So those of you who are in my Alge 2 class, when we talk about solving, right, which is what we're trying to do now, we're trying to solve this for y. We generally go in reverse order of operations. So when we're simplifying, when we're just kind of making things neater, we're not moving things around, we just go from top to bottom. When we're solving, though, we're going in reverse order. So let's take care of our subtraction here first. We're going to undo that subtraction with an addition. Right, -1 plus 1 is 0. It moves it from the right side to the left side. So we have x plus 1 equals 2 sine y. Okay, next step, we're looking at the multiplications division. So we're trying to get rid of this 2 times sine y. We're going to do our multiplication with a division. Notice I'm leaving a little space there. Now, like we said up here, anytime we want to undo our sign, we're going to undo it by doing sine inverse. And just like all the other algebraic rules, if we do something on the right side, we might make sure we have to do it on the left side. So what happens here is the sine inverse cancels with the sine. So y is going to be equal to, and if I had space, I'd rewrite it, but it's already done here. Sine inverse, parentheses. Notice I put the parentheses because it applies to everything over there. X plus 1 divided by 2. And then you're done. So this is the inverse of our original function. Okay, so that's how to find the inverse. Solving is not too much different, right? The difference between finding the inverse and solving is that we had y equals something. When it's asking us to solve, we're going to only have our one variable here, and we're solving for that variable. So we're going to go in reverse order of operations again. There's no additions and subtractions here, so we're going to go ahead and take care of our multiplication. We have 3 times sine inverse x equals pi. We're going to undo 3 times by dividing it. So we have sine inverse x equals pi over 3. Okay, so then we're going to do sine on both sides to undo this part. So x is going to be whatever the sine of pi over 3 is. So we're going to look on a unit circle. Pi over 3 is here. And our sine is the y value there. So that's going to be square root 3 over 2. Okay, so this is a pretty short lesson. It's pretty straightforward. Your algebra is, it's not a lot of algebra. The only new concept is that we can undo sines and sine inverses with each other. Same with cosine inverses and cosines. Same with tangent. Any of the functions inverses will undo the regular function. And just the solving part, we're going to make sure that we understand how to find our values from our unit circle properly, which is stuff that we've been working on. So you should be a little bit comfortable with it. All right, so make sure you have your notes taken down well. You have any side notes that you need to help you remember. And if you have any questions, make sure you write those down and then bring them to class so I can help you guys out during our next meeting. All right, good job today.